This touch your toes, follow along class is perfect if you have stubborn hamstrings. So if you have tight hamstrings and you've always struggled to get in that forward fold or touch your toes pose, then this is the class for you. Okay, first things first, we're going to get onto our backs and we're just going to get a little stretch. So bring your knees towards your chest. And then from here, bring your feet up like you're trying to hold up the ceiling with your feet. Your elbows going between your knees and you're going to grab your hamstrings if you're really tight here, or the outsides of your feet. But again, as always, you can hear me talking. I'm comfortable in this stretch. I'm not straining. So if you're straining and holding your breath, just go back a step to where you're comfortable. Okay, now that we're here, bring your right foot or right heel in towards your hips and start to bring your left foot out until you feel a stretch on your hamstrings. Okay, notice how I've got a bent knee here and I've still got a stretch. Then I'm going to bring my left heel in towards my hips and my right foot's going out. And again, just until I feel a stretch. You could be deeper into that or shallower, just do your thing. Okay, then right side in, left out, and just going from side to side. If you set your breath here and you're breathing slowly as well, try and like inhale in, exhale, switch, and inhale, holding, exhale, switch. Just so we're setting the breath as we move as well. That really helps find some comfort in some of these stretches. Good, so we've worked the hamstrings a little bit. This is almost a check-in. Do both feet, just kind of bring them above your chest or your head here. Try and keep your lower back on the mat. Again, see if you can find a stretch. You might just feel the stretch in your lower back. That's fine. That just means that's a little tighter and needs a bit more attention. Okay, come forwards now and meet me in plank. So we're just going to get into plank. Take a couple of breaths here. Nice and comfortable. Then bend your knees down towards the mat and lift your hips up as your head goes down. Keep your knees nice and bent here though, so bend them even more than usual, almost like you're trying to get your belly on your quads here or the tops of your legs. Then forwards to plank again. Same thing, but exaggerate that movement. So knees down, lift those hips up, but keep the knees nice and bent. Then we'll do it one more time. Bend and lift those hips up. Good. From here, I'm just going to drop my left heel and send my left knee back slightly until I feel a stretch. Then bend that back, then right side. And just go from side to side here. Really slowly. Then you'll probably start to feel your shoulders open out here as well because we're spending a bit of time in down dog, which is nice. Good. Then we'll come forward to the plank, bring the knees down. Then just doing that from all fours. Shouldn't feel strenuous doing it this way. Just pushing that heel back, dropping down that knee and back. Good. All right. Lift the hips back up. Again, bend those knees more than you would normally. And then that walking on the spot. Keep breathing here as well. Nice deep breaths through the nose. Good. All right, now just start to creep the feet, really small steps forwards. Keeping the knees nice and bent on the way though. Maybe straightening them a bit more, maybe not. And then we're going to get to like a forward fold here. But notice I'm bending my knees even more than I would normally. You might have your hands on your ankles and your knees bent. You might almost feel like you're squatting down a bit. That's fine. Then from here, think about where your weight is. My weight's in my heels. So my hips are just above my heels. So I'm going to shift everything forward so it goes to the balls of my feet. You'll probably feel that in your hamstrings. That's good. And then again, walking on the spot here. Straighten one leg, bend the other. And you feel your hamstrings working. If your hips start to turn, that's fine. And if your hands are on the mat or on your ankles or your shins, that's fine. Just wherever you're comfortable here. Good. And then just let everything relax for a second. Just fold it all forwards.
If you're holding your head up because you're watching the screen, just no tension in the back of your neck. Just let your head hang. Good job. All right. Now we're just going to heel toe. So walk our feet out a little wider. Bend our knees more. Hands go on the mat. And then I'm going to sit down into a squat. If you get here and that's a squat, stay there. That's fine. All right. If you get a bit deeper, that's fine too. But then lift your hips back up and sit down. Each time, maybe get a bit more comfortable in that squat. Hips down, chest up. Maybe get a little more comfortable in that fold. But just keep working between the two. Breathing as you move. Again, I'm not doing some crazy, quick, intense workout. I mean, I'm never doing that. So yeah, just flow between the two. Good, last time. And then squatting down. And then from your squat, just hands go behind you, sit yourself down comfortably, or just get to seated position. Then we're going to kick that right foot out in front of us. Bend the right knee. Make sure the ribs or the belly are on the top of that right leg. And then from here, I'm just slowly going to let my right knee slide away until I can feel a hamstring stretch. Keep your head down and just breathe. Again, if you're straining, bring that stretch off so that you're easing into it. Let's take 2 more deep breaths here. Great. Now let's go left side. Same thing. Bend that knee. Get that belly or ribs onto the top of that leg and just let that heel slide away. Keep a bend in your knee if you're comfortable. If you can feel that stretch, there's no reason to straighten it out perfectly. If you can feel a stretch from here, maybe you're up here and you're feeling it's tight, just stay where you are, you'll get there. Good, come up. Now we'll do both at once, just so we can notice how much easier it is at doing sort of one at a time. So if you do struggle to touch your toes, just break it down, stretch one at a time, walking on the spot in these different poses and things like that. That's going to make it way more accessible for you. So bending the knees, getting your ribs on your quads, and then just let your heels slide away. Keep the head down as well. I'm just keeping mine up so I'm not screaming into my microphone. And then just stopping here and taking a few breaths. And if any of these stretches feel good and you want longer in them, just press pause, or after the video is finished, get yourself back in them and just breathe, chill out in them, do them before training, after training. The more you do them, the more results you're going to get. Okay, now bring your heels towards your hips, and then from here, just bridging up. So just lifting your hips off the mat, so stretching out the front. We've been folded a lot, so it's just nice to stretch out the front of the hips. And then bring your hands down to the mat and just reach for that space between your feet. And we're just going to be stretching the chest and the front of the shoulders here as well. So that whole front body is getting a nice stretch. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave me a comment. I want to know how good this video made you feel and how good your hamstrings feel after doing it. Okay, keep going with it, stay consistent, and you're going to get those results.